A wide angle opens up, a view of the wet forest in the darkness, highlighted by the dim light from the moon filtering through the leaves. It feels like the world is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. In the silence, a shadow moves silently. No sound, no hurry. It is the jaguar, South America's most powerful big cat, a master of the art of hunting in the dark. The camera zooms in on its amber eyes, reflecting infrared light. Each step is a calculated symphony, gentle, precise, never missing a beat. Slow motion, paws hit the wet mud, making no sound. In the distance, a wild boar sleeps in the bushes, unaware that it has entered a deadly zone. The jaguar does not attack immediately. It sits, observing, analyzing, like a cold-blooded assassin waiting for the right moment. The camera cuts from above, from the side, sometimes even from the prey's perspective, where darkness swallows everything. Here, speed is not the ultimate weapon, patience is. Cut, an owl flies by, a gentle breeze brushes past the ears. The forest still does not detect the lurker. A young warthog stirs slightly, and in that moment, the jaguar's shadow, like a black whip, rushes forward. No roar, no warning. Its attack is swift and clean. Just a bite to the skull, the signature finishing move only jaguars can do. Other cats bite the neck, but the jaguar, it crushed the skull. The prey has no time to react, it all happens in less than 3 seconds. But what is more fascinating is the way it retreats. The leopard drags the carcass up a fallen tree, out of the scent of the hyenas or jackals. It eats in silence, leaving no trace. The camera pans to a river branch, where an anaconda swims across. Not a threat, but part of the hunting scene, all hunt, all prey. Cut. The leopard continues its journey. One night, it can travel miles just to find a moment like this. The sound of gibbons in the distance, a long-tailed monkey is looking for a way to sleep. But the leopard does not climb, it sits quietly below, looks up, and turns away. It knows, climbing now is a waste of energy, the wind is changing direction. Instead, it wades across a small branch, its reflection in the moon. Every splash is calculated, not a sound to spare. On the other side, a capybara resting. A family of 3, the mother warily raised her head. Slow motion, for paws in the mud, eyes wide, wind in her face, the jaguar was preparing. But it didn't charge. It retreated, circled around, disappeared into the thick grass, not out of fear, but because it waited. That was the difference between an amateur hunter and a legend of the night hunt. Darkness had settled over the forest like a thick blanket. No more light, no more sound. Just silence and the heavy breathing of its evading prey. The jaguar wasn't in a hurry. It had been watching the lone antelope for nearly an hour. Every movement, every footprint, even the pause in breathing when the antelope lifted its head to listen. In the dark, the jaguar's eyesight was not its primary tool. It was the ears, the slightest vibration that guided it. A twig snapped, a leaf rustled. A startle it was enough to map out the hunt in its mind. On a high branch, where the moonlight could not penetrate, the jaguar stopped. Below, the antelope had stopped feeding. It sensed something was wrong, but it could not determine where the danger lay. And then the jaguar leapt. No sound, no growl. Just a bolt of lightning in the night, forelegs extended. Talons dug into the prey's shoulders, a fatal blow. The antelope struggled desperately, but the jaguar had locked its throat. The wind whistled. Leaves fell, and then silence again. It was not a victory, but the result of hours of patience, observation, and timing. Elsewhere, in a denser canopy, a viper coiled around a branch. It is not large, but one bite of it is certain death for the careless. A wood mouse sniffs the air. It is hungry. It does not know that the shadow that awaits it is not a bright death, but a silent death, cold as the night wind. Just one stumble, one rustle, the snake has struck. Everything is over in a few seconds. That is the rule. The slowest, the dead. As the night grows late, other predators begin to appear. An owl hovers like a ghost. Its eyes shine like flashlights. It does not need to hunt for long. One silent swoop is enough to end the life of an unknown wood mouse. Further away, a pack of hyenas gathers. They are not as subtle as leopards, but they had the advantage: numbers and a terrible wrath. They followed the scent of fresh blood, and then, when they found the antelope's carcass, the fight began. Not with the jaguar, but between themselves. The bites, the roars, the tearing of flesh, the night forest was no longer quiet. In another corner of the forest, the jaguar returned to its resting place. It did not look back, not because it did not care, but because it knew it had won. It climbed a high branch, licking the blood off its claws. The pale moonlight covered its mottled back. A killer, alone, needing no one to witness its victory. On the ground, everything gradually fell silent. Only the chirping of insects remained. The jaguar was not the strongest of creatures, but it was a master of patience and calculation. Each hunt was not only about physical strength, but also a battle of the mind. And that is why it survived. As dawn began to break, the first rays of light touched the canopy. The jaguar had disappeared as if it had never been there, but its footprints remained, imprinted on the damp ground. Another chapter closed in the silent epic of the jungle. Beast world, where every creature must learn to adapt, survive and triumph, not by roaring, but by deadly silence.
The game will begin again.